Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Balaba Ivanadadi Gopijana Balaba Ivanadadi Yasodanandana Brajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanatadi Jamuna Tira Vanatadi Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Madhava Kunda Bihari Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Pari Bhajakacharya Srimad Divine Grace Bhai Charan Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koda Vaishnava Brinda Ki Namchar Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Shri Goho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gaur Gopinath Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki. Vrindavan Dham Ki. Mathura Dham Ki. Dwarka Dham Ki. Navadi Dham Ki. Jagannathpuri Dham Ki. Jamuna Mai Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Tulsi Maharani Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Samveda Bhakti Vrinda Ki. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Sri Radha Giridhari Ki. Shri Krishna Sankirtana Jaga Ki. Gopremanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the divine lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Do we know if this water is fresh water? How do you know? Huh? All right, good. Thank you very much. Okay. Krishna Swadamo Bhagate Dharmaganadi Bisaha Kalaunasa Dashamesha Paranoko Nadodata Narayana Namaskritcha Naram Chaivam Narotama Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. So we are on Canto 9, Chapter 4, Text 69. Is that what's on the board? Yes. Well, that's reassuring. It's a great chapter. Of course, Prabhupada said that the Bhagavatam is like a sugar tree. Evidently, there's a tree in India. Prabhupada said that any part you taste is sweet. The leaves, the roots, the bark, everything is sweet. So the Bhagavatam, anywhere you taste it, it's sweet. Did we say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? No. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Upayam Katayishyami Tava Vipra Shrinushva Tat Ayam Hi Atma Bicharas Te Yatas Tam Yahi Mam Chiram Sadhusu Prahitam Teja Prahartu Kurute Shivam Apayam Katayishyami Tava Vipra Shrinushvatat Ayam Hiyat Ma Bicharaste. Yeah, the HY, he and Atma Bicharas are run together, so we're going to do it again. Ayam, wait, hang on. Ayam Hiyat Ma Bicharaste. Yatastam Yahimam Chiram. Sadhushu Prahitam Teja Prahartu Kurute Shivam Upayam Katayishyami Tava vipra shrinushvatat ayam yatmi bicharaste yatastam yahimam chidam sadhushu prahitam teja prahatu kurute shivam. One more time. Upayam katayishyami tava vipra shrinushvatat ayam hyatma bicharaste yatastam yahimam chidam sadhushu prahitam teja prahurtur kurute shivam. Upayam katayishyami tava vipra shrinushvatat ayam yatma bicharaste yatastam yahimam chidam sadhushu prahitam teja prahatu kurute shivam. Upayam katayishyami tava vipra shrinashvatat ayam hyatme bicharaste yatastam chayam sadhushu prahitam teja prahartu kurute shivam. Vaishnavis. Upayami katayasyami tava vipra shrinushvatat ayam hyatme bicharaste yatastam yahimam chidam sadhushu prahitam teja prahartu kurute shivam. Upayam katayishyami tava vipra shrinushvatat ayam hyatmi bicharaste yatastam yahimam charam sadhusu prahitam teja prahartu kurute shivam. Upayam, the means of protection in this dangerous position. Katayasyami, I shall speak to you. Tava, for your deliverance from danger. Vipra, O Brahman, Shrinushva, just hear from me. Tat, what I say. I am this action taken by you. He, indeed, Atma Abhichara, self-envy, or envious of yourself. Your mind has become your enemy. Te, for you. Yata, because of whom? Tam, to him, Maharaj Ambarisha. Yahi, immediately go. Macharam, do not wait even a moment. Sadhushu, unto devotees. Prahitam, applied. Teja, power. Prahatu, of the executor. Kurute, does. Ashivam, inauspicious. Who's speaking to whom? Do we know what the scene is? One would hope that somebody knows other than Balaram. Where's Dravida when you need him? Lord Vishnu is speaking to Durvasa Muni. And what is Durvasa Muni's position? Very dangerous. Why? Other than, why is it he in a dangerous position? Huh? Yeah, the chakra's right hot on his heels. He's in a very, and where has he been? He's been all over the universe. He's even gone to Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu saying, nope, can't help you. So what to do? And this is the verse and purport. O Brahmana, so this is Krishna speaking. O Brahmana, let me now advise you for your own protection. Please hear from me. By offending Maharaj Ambarisha, you have acted with self-envy. Therefore, you should go to him immediately, without a moment's delay. One's so-called prowess, when employed against a devotee, certainly harms he who employs it. Thus, it is the subject, not the object, who is harmed. Prabhupada's purport. A Vaishnava is always an object of envy for the non-devotee, even when the non-devotee happens to be his father. To give a practical example, Hiranyakasipu was envious of Prahlad Maharaj, but this envy to the devotee was harmful to Hiranyakasipu, not to Prahlad. Every action taken by Hiranyakasipu against his son Prahlad was taken very seriously by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And thus, when Hiranyakasipu was on the verge of killing Prahlad, the Lord personally appeared and killed Hiranyakasipu. Service to a Vaishnava gradually accumulates and becomes an asset for the devotee. Similarly, the other side of the coin here, similarly, harmful activities directed against the devotee gradually become the ultimate cause of the performer's fall down. Even such a great Brahmana and mystic yogi as Durvasa was in a most dangerous situation because of his offense at the lotus feet of Maharaj Ambarish, a pure devotee. Om Gana Timarandasya Gyana Gana Salakaya Chakshurshur Militan Gena Tazare Shri Gurave Namaha. Now, Prabhupada talks about, we're going to get to the point of talking about offenses to a devotee and what to do when one offends a devotee. What is the reaction of an offended devotee? Why is Krishna so fond of devotees? That's where we're going. But because Prabhupada stresses on it, let me ask you this. Why is a non-devotee envious of a devotee? We don't have sex outside of marriage. We don't have money. And we don't have so many servants, and we're not famous. Actually, devotees are. Each one of those things can be reversed. But for materialists, like some time ago, I was going out to Mangalarti on a Sunday morning, and my neighbor was stumbling home drunk at whatever it was, 4:15. So I was going out, he was coming in. He's actually a nice guy. He's helped me a couple times. But he said, you're just the opposite of me. I said, in more ways than one, my friend, and thankful for it. So why would someone be envious of a devotee. Okay, we're going back home, back to Godhead. That's a fact. But somebody told me the other day, wherever you go, there you are. What does that mean? Naveen, do you have any idea what wherever you go, there you are means? There used to be a ditty that we used to sing. I think it comes from Peter Pan, which is another story. But it's me and my shadow. Wherever we go, our shadow goes. So wherever we go, we take our consciousness, right? Can't really shake it. Even when you're asleep, you dream, so you really can't shake it. So wherever we go, we take our consciousness. They say, what is it that you can be drowning in an ocean of happiness? Or you can be alone in an ocean. You can be miserable in an ocean of happiness. Our consciousness determines. I mean, you can be in Tahiti. I don't know. Bali, I think, is nicer. But I talked to somebody the other day who'd gone on vacation to Tahiti with their, and I think it was their honeymoon. And they got super sunburn, and everything was expensive. And it was hot on the land, but the water is warm. I mean, we like warm water, but if it's hot on the land and the water's hot, there's no relief. They said they had a miserable time, you know? They had to fly all the way out to... So wherever you go, you take your consciousness. And so I wanted to read what are, if I can find it, let's see here. I wanted to read the qualities of a devotee. And you know what? Okay, here we go. And this is from the 9th chapter and the 16th chapter of the Gita. Krishna gives a number of lists. There's the 24 qualities of a devotee. But this is a shorter list. But it still works for the purpose I want to make. Humility, nonviolence, tolerance, kindness, freedom from material desires, steady, clean, self-controlled, truthful, merciful, respectful to all, while not expecting respect for themselves. So this is just a sampling of the qualities of a devotee. This is the world that a devotee lives in. Such a nice world that these are their qualities. This is when we look out from the windows of the eyes and look out at this world, this is the lens that we see it through. Where, there's divine and demonic natures in Bhagavad Gita. For the materialists, they live in such a intense and scattered and pressurized and angry, envious world. So this is why one of the reasons that devotees are, because we're peaceful, we're happy. It's a very rare thing in this world, actually. It's described, I'm trying to think of how it's stated. Why is wisdom, knowledge, like a pair of shoes? Who wants to take a guess at this other than Balaram? I mean, shoes, we don't usually use analogies of shoes because shoes are considered unclean. But this is from the Bhagavatam. Why is knowledge like shoes? Oh, well, let's break it down. Okay, go ahead, Govardhan.
It helps us traverse the difficulties.
Yeah. Why do we wear shoes? Of course, if you're Imelda Marcos or wherever you're wearing them for fashion, she had something like 300 pairs of shoes in her closet. But generally speaking, why does a normal person wear shoes? Huh? Yeah, it protects your feet and you can walk nicely. This world, trust me, the older you get, the more you'll realize this. This world is full of trouble. So when you're young, you fall down, your body gets better, your senses are strong, you can digest a stone, Prabhupada said. You wait. This body is full of so many. But with knowledge, with wisdom, you can traverse, if you're barefoot, so many sticks, rocks, this and that. So that peacefulness, we know we've got Krishna. So that peacefulness, whatever, I don't want to take too long on this. But so that's what Prabhupada's talking about. Why they're not, devotees may not appear to be opulent, but they have the opulence of good character, of the qualities of a devotee. And it's the most valuable thing, because nothing else is going to give you relief. Doesn't matter how much. They did a survey. We're off track, but so be it. They did a survey of the last 10 years of winners of the Massachusetts State Lottery. These are people that we've pulled into 7-Eleven to get some quarters. And what was it was $640 million? Jeez. I tested Ananda Vrindavan and said, hey, Ananda, I think we should buy a ticket. He was firm. No. Money can't buy you happiness. And so they did a survey of and I forget how, but it was a large number of people. It was people who'd won over $10 million in the lottery. And 70% of them, it's not even close to 50-50. 70% of them said they wished they'd never won the money. It's true. Wow. I saw a bumper sticker one day. It said, the person who says money can't buy happiness just doesn't know where to shop. Because they're thinking, you give me that money. Hey, I know what to do with it. I'm going to be happy. But they're not. Their wife takes half the money and dumps them. I always wanted to get rid of this chump. Or whatever it is. Or vice versa, They have money, they want to get a facelift. You know what really happens? One of the prominent things is they get all that money, and two things happen. They lose all their real friends because they're driving around in a Mercedes and flying first class and doing this, and their friends kind of fall away. And they don't want to hang out with them anymore. I'm going to get a place at Trump Tower and hang out with those folks. So there's that. And then also so many people they never even knew come out of the woodwork asking for money. Hey, give me this, give me that. They're miserable. So there it is. Why they're envious of a devotee. Now, I wanted to move on. And this comes from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Why are devotees so dear to Krishna? Krishna just said, I'm in the heart of devotees. Devotees are in my heart. Krishna loves his devotees. Why? Well, here's an esoteric reason for you. Krishna relishes bhakti and his own qualities through the devotees. You know, and I've mentioned it before, I'm going to mention it again. You can, as far as torture, you can waterboard, you can pull out people's fingernails. I mean, it's inconceivable what people do to each other. Hook them up to a car battery, zzz. It's inconceivable. But you know what torture breaks down human psychology, the human sense of self, faster and does more long-term damage than any of those other physical. Yes. Isolation. Solitary confinement. And with sense deprivation. Wait, it's my turn now. I want to hear it later on, but I want to get somewhere. I appreciate it. But if you wrap somebody's eyes, or you put them in a dark room, padded dark room, so there's no sense perception, it's horrible. It's the worst torture, and they just break down completely psychologically, which is a little nod to the impersonalist. You think you're going to find your home in Om. Forget it, But so Krishna, he relishes, he enjoys the devotees' service and saving the devotees and helping the devotees. And the devotees seeing a mango at the grocery store and thinking, wow, that'd be nice for Krishna. Or thinking, hey, what am I going to cook for lunch for Krishna today? How am I going to dress the deities? Oh, I've got some flowers in my backyard. Oh, that would look nice. That bhakti, that devotion, simple, small, apparently small, moves mountains. But Krishna relishes that. He doesn't want to be alone. He doesn't want to have everybody quaking in fear. He's, smiting, smitten, throwing thunderbolts. That's not what Krishna likes to do. He loves reciprocating with his devotees and seeing how his devotees love him. He loves his devotees love him. So that's one reason. He relishes bhakti through his devotees. I'll give you a few more. And he sees how a devotee gives up everything for him. Everybody's thinking about themselves, what I want, what I need. And the only reason they approach God, I've mentioned before, my Uncle Chuck, who used to always be in the middle of a disaster, his company made the original Olympic torch. When they run with it, they have a mechanical one. It kept going out. They're running, and it's true. He's so many things, Uncle Chuck. And he would always call my father and ask for money. Had a new bright idea, a new venture. Got to the point that my father would not even answer the call. He would just say to my mother, she would say, it's your brother on the phone. And my father would just say, how much does he want? Just make it short. How much does he want? So how do you think? Everybody thinks this guy's chuckling away, but everybody's thinking, geez, what kind of relationship is that? But how do you think Krishna feels? What if the only time you saw somebody coming up your sidewalk to knock on your door, what, they had those door cameras? So you see this guy coming up again, and he's just going to ask you for money. Do you answer the door? Are you happy to see him? What do they say? There's an old saying, never darken my doorstep again. You never want to see that person again. How do you think Krishna feels? Everybody's asking him for something. And even Krishna fulfills it, they're back at his door the next day with something else. So, but when he sees someone, I mean, that's the nature of true love. You're with somebody because you love them. You want to be with them. And you like that. That someone, sees your real self and appreciates you. Puts pep in your step. So not to compare us to Krishna, but how do you think Krishna feels about his devotees? The devotees given up everything. So, yeah, and Prabhupada's making that point that Ambarish gave up everything, just surrendered to Krishna. And Krishna likes that. So that's another reason. Krishna relishes bhakti. He appreciates the surrender of his devotees. Prabhupada said, after all, Krishna does not have a cold heart. Prabhupada said Krishna is grateful, even for this patram pushpam palam toyam, smallest thing, leaf, flower, fruit. Krishna says, oh, my devotee offered this. I remember, I guess we're going to do the rest of this later on. I remember for Father's Day, I must have been, I don't know what, 5 years old, 6, maybe 7 at the most. Father's Day, I wanted to get something for my father. I asked my father for some money. I'm a kid, I don't have any money. So I asked my father for money. Then I asked my father, can I have a ride to whatever the local shop was? Then I said, now don't come inside, but keep an eye on, I was a kid, keep an eye on me, So, I bought whatever it was with my father's money, with my father drove me back. I asked him to help me wrap it. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of surprise in it, And when my father passed away, sometime later, we were clearing out the house. I forget what the thing was. It was it was a paperweight shaped like an apple. I think that's what, yeah. He had it. He kept it for whatever it was, 70 years, because it was offered by his little son with genuine love. So Krishna, you want to offer us with devotion? You think Krishna doesn't care, doesn't notice, doesn't say, hey, it's not gold-plated. So that's another reason, the love of devotees. Here's another one from Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, that, I just forgot it. Okay, there it is, that Krishna in this material world, what is it? Paritana saranam vanasaya chaduskatam. That Krishna comes to deliver the fallen souls. So when that's Krishna's most burning desire. It's the only reason. It's the only reason he created this material world, is to deliver the living entities. And someone who helps him with that job, you're trying to do something difficult, somebody helps you out, puts their shoulder to the wheel. How do you feel about that person? Ananda. Yeah, there's a partner, a friend. So when Krishna, the devotees, what is our only interest? We're happy. We can worship the deities, chant Hare Krishna, Tushyanti Cha, Ramanti Cha, spend our time talking about Krishna. Temple's peaceful place. Just waiting around for the next offering to come off the altar, take some prasadam. What's the all-day sweet today? But why do there was a devotee, and her name slips my mind. It was Radha, slips my mind. Anyway, I was the Sankirtan leader in Detroit, in St. Louis. 3 devotees. It was our whole party. And she was huge on Sankirtan. Huge. And I'm just trying to remember her name. Her Karmi name was Judy. And then I noticed one day she was making garlands, and she couldn't, now she's probably 20 years old, maybe even 18, good eyesight. She couldn't string the garland, couldn't get the needle through the thread through the needle. So I said, hey, what's up with this? She said, oh, I lost my glasses. These are devotees. You know, she'd gone without glasses for about 3 months because she didn't want to ask the temple for money or, you know, whatever it was. And, hey, well, hang on, you know, we'll get you some glasses. We got her some glasses. She bombed on Sankirtan. Couldn't do a thing. I said, well, hey, what happened? You know, she said, I can't look them in the face. They're so unhappy. They're angry or lusty or unhappy. I can't do it anymore. You know what the solution was? When she went out on Sankirtan, she took her glasses off. She did huge. When she got back in the van, put her glasses back on, you know. No problem. So Krishna sees his devotees are trying to help him in his mission of delivering the conditioned souls. He's grateful. He's pleased. So these are some reasons why the devotees are so dear to Krishna. And you offend a devotee? If we find someone, suppose, your wife or your husband or your kids. I know people, they say, you can say anything you want about me and my wife, but you go off on my kids, I'm going to let you know. So imagine how Krishna feels. Devotees are so dear to Krishna for all these reasons, and we offend one of Krishna's devotees? Well, what do you think? All right, so I think because of the time, and I've got stuff going on. So that's it. And we'll end on this. We'll take up, now that I brought you to the precipice of we don't want to offend devotees. And to err is human. There's different types of offenses. There's what is it? There's, what do they call that when you kill someone by accident? What's it called? Manslaughter. Who said that? Yeah, there's manslaughter. I hope you don't know by personal experience. There's manslaughter and there's murder. And manslaughter, you get one reaction. There's one level of punishment. But premeditated, when you actually laid out a plan and executed a murder. If you backed over some kid, you couldn't see him, and he's on his tricycle, it's a horrible thing. But that was on one, you should have been better. I saved me the emails. But, it wasn't intentional. But when it's premeditated, you get a much heavier offense. So to err is human. There may be accidental offenses. But there's also, you're angry, that's premeditated, you don't, that's even heavier. So there's two categories of, premeditated and accidental, unintentional. So we're going to deal next Sunday, well, what do you do? And there's a whole science. And just to, preview for next week, there's by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, there's a whole description of what leads up to offenses, what to do if you cause an offense, and how to get a devotee to forgive you. It's a highly studied matter because it's so dangerous. So weaken in there just a little gloss on why Krishna loves. He loves his devotees, and those are some of the reasons. Okay, weaken in there. Thank you very much, Bruce. Hare Krishna. Actually, before you leave, because I forgot what I was going to say. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, because Krishna loves his devotees so much, when you offend a devotee, you personally pain Krishna's heart. I'll say that again. When we offend the devotee, we personally pain Krishna's heart. That's how serious it is. Hare Krishna. On that happy note, we can take prasad.